Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live of the stream. Look at me, I'm streaking. Ooh, now that's something I'd like to see. Welcome to your 20th stream in a row, Mr. Twaddleheart, and welcome everyone else. Major Geeks, Reckless Tris, Marley, depending on the language that you're from, Beanie, Barry the Tone, welcome to your first stream. Mr. Vedros, Duvel, Cabin, or CHB Cabin, and everyone else. Marcel feeding the ducks with the corpses of drowned guests. I see we're starting off strong. It's just like Marcel has started the stream, is greeting everyone, and we're talking about feeding corpses. Hey, that's my part in the intro. Feeding corpses to ducks, which, yes, is what we do, but sometimes we like to delay it with at least a few minutes. You know, just to make people think that I might not be totally crazy. You know? Yeah, that's not gonna happen, is it? English, so like Bob Marley. That makes sense. I'm Dutch, so I would say Marley. Hence my confusion. Or not really confusion, I was just unsure. Alright, let's see. We're gonna do Swamp Cove. Where's Swamp Cove? There's Swamp Cove. Built partly on a series of small islands, this park already has a pair of large roller coasters as its centerpiece. Objective to have at least 1,600 guests in your park at the end of October year 3, with a park rating of at least 600. Let's go! So, this is Swamp Cove. It's a classic RCT1 style scenario. I've never properly played it, I think. I don't remember at least. Somebody, yes. Yes. It's a good song, it's a good movie. Right. Let's start by following this roller coaster. Might want to fix that awful path thing. It's more fun without fixing it. Don't forget the drowning. Yes, good point. If someone does that during the intro, it's likely that I'm going to forget it. Lovely interlocking corkscrews. It is quite lovely, well built. I'm not sure if Chris Sawyer built this, but assuming that he did, well done, Chris. Like, they're timed well, it's just great work. Dexter, what's the other one called? Sinister. Ah, that's Latin for left and right. So, the drowning. Who was that? Rename a guest Lord Farquaad and drown him. That's not how you spell it, Farquaad. But there is a reason that this is a thing, and I'm assuming that's what you meant as well. I have heard that Farquaad, Lord Farquaad from Shrek, was actually named that because it sounds a bit like fuckwad, and there was someone with had the name like Walt, I guess, maybe Walt as in Walt Disney, I'm not sure, who they didn't like. It was something like that, and either way, that guest is now dead. Did you see the update? The ugly spinning cars of the Junior in RCT1 are finally available in the open. Yes. I don't think we have them available here. We do have the Junior coaster now. Oh, we do. We do get them. Nice. Let's make a coaster with them, shall we? First though, let's get some ducks. Thank you, Raid Pirate. No parks without ducks, yes. Speaking of having a day off, I nearly was too late for this stream because I was working. I mean, I'm still working now, but I was working on a video and suddenly it was nearly streaming time. And I may have well missed it if I didn't end up looking at the time. Thank you for the 5 months, Ruby Plugs. So, we're going to use the spinning cars. Wait. Do you see that? Did it happen to the other ones as well? But only partly. Is it in the other corners too? Oh, hang on, it was somewhere here. Yes. There's certain... You see it change? There's certain areas of the screen where that happens. Here as well. There's something, I think, to do with invalidating the screen or something like that. Okay, let's make this more interesting colors. Now these cars are from RCT1 and do not exist in RCT2. And it was apparently a real bitch to get them in OpenRCT2 because complicated codes. But now they are in OpenRCT2. Is it the ducks? I don't think that has anything to do with... What? I didn't click on that. I wasn't clicking on anything. Why did it suddenly go to there? That... What? What just happened? Why am I select... Oh. It's the no banked turn. It didn't... But it's the first time I've ever seen the game actually locating my... I wasn't looking at the screen when it happened. I just suddenly saw the screen move and was confused by that. I was looking at the chat. I saw out of the corner of the eye suddenly the screen move and I was like, that shouldn't happen. But I'm not sure I have ever seen that the game actually moves the construction to that bit. It's a rare case anyway that happens. So yeah, no banked turns. Never seen icons next to the enters and exits tile names. Yeah, that's new as well. And the bug with this, I don't think it's got to do with actually the icons or anything. It's just, I think it's got to do something with, like, I think it's a separate thing anyway. I am so used to banking my turns. Even though banking a turn like this is completely unnecessary because the previous turn, which is sloped, is not banked. So why would I bank the one on top? Yet it's such a habit. Where do all the ducks come from? Cheats. We cheated them in because we like ducks. Okay, how about we do different colors per terrain? Ah, we can remove the... Hang on. Different colors per terrain and then... Oh yeah, this is much better than the stupid brown. They are such weird cars. But yeah, they were in RST1, so naturally they're in OpenRST2 as well now. I'll say naturally, it took a lot of work, but OpenRST2 has been working a lot to include all the RST1 stuff. The flickering of the station style has gone. Yes, it has. Interesting. And if we... Is it back? No. Doesn't have anything to do with the ride being in test mode or anything. Why is it raining, like, forever? I feel like it's been raining for a very long time. Also, who said that this pathing is awful? This pathing is perfectly fine, apart from, I guess, this tiny little thing, but otherwise... There's not... Well, I mean, there's a dead end here, but... That's not too big of a dead end. It's also on the very side of the park, so it's not really a problem. The main problem with dead ends is that guests would need to walk a long way around. And, you know, they kind of need to walk a long way if they're going from here to there, but it's not that far, and it's only a few junctions. It's not that bad. You know what? I should probably hire some staff. Huh, they're all... Why are they all grey? Who thought of that? We're going pink, baby. Even the security guards, of which I'm going to hire exactly 0. Now, we do get 5.34 nausea on this bastard, because we get plus 50% nausea from these trains. Which is ridiculous. Yeah, why not space style? Worth it. Oh, absolutely worth it. Yes. I would love to ride a coaster like this. Seems very interesting. I still use security guards. I have never used a security guard. In the last like 10, well, at least like 5 years. Probably longer. I've still hired them like for funsies or whatever, you know. But not with the intent purpose of being a security guard. I've never been like, oh, I need a security guard. $5. If you could make security guards actually useful, what would you change? Well, for starters, I don't want to change it. If I would change it, perhaps that people nearby a security guard won't litter. That seems like a useful thing. That means you need fewer handymen. They can still puke, of course, but not litter. You can't really tell people not to puke. That the body doesn't work like that. I think it's more that handymen are sort of too OP for their price. I'm not sure. Handyman costs can get quite significant if you're not careful. Hello, Max. Welcome. Like, staff costs have done me in when I was younger quite often. Can you make Shrek? No. I don't think I can. But look at this, Max. We got the spinning vehicles from RCT1. Right, because you spend all your money on handyman instead of having a reasonable number of handyman plus a security guard. But security guards, like, the area where they prevent vandalism is so tiny. It's like a few tiles in either direction. It's already merged. Yes, it is. You can't use banked turns though. It doesn't like that. 8 by 8. Yeah, but that's still not. You know, you still need quite a bit. And keeping guests happy, because it's not just litter that makes them vandalize. They also need to be unhappy, and keeping guests happy is a lot simpler. I don't know. I just never felt the need. Like, even in parks where money is tight, I've just never felt the need to do security guards. I'd rather just skip benches and bins altogether. Speaking of money being tight, it's currently quite tight. But any one piece of litter has a chance to send them into a rage. So you always have the chance, no matter how many handymen you hire. Well, you say that, but like there are plenty of parks where I have thousands of guests and no security guards and not that many handymen. And still, I don't see any vandalism. So yeah, I'm not. Vandalism has just kind of never been a problem. I mean, sometimes it's a problem. Mostly if you guys fire my staff, then it's a problem. But security guards won't prevent them because they'd also be fired. Do the spinning cars have any effect on the stats? Yes, they give a bit of excitement, a bit more intensity, and plus 50% nausea. Fire all the staff. Yeah, there we go. This, I mean, we don't have a lot of guests yet, don't have a lot of rides yet, so maybe this won't do any vandalism. But it might. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna build a ride yet. I'm first going to make this pretty. Little fence. Like so. And then some flowers. And some bushes. Shame it wasn't a 3x3 area. I'd have put an info kiosk in the middle. I mean, this is an area to relax, not an area to buy a map. So I don't think we need an info kiosk here. Right here I'll put the statue. Another fence. Weeping willow. I could use some trees around the outside. Like we could put one there. And then here, on the very opposite end. What's a nice thing we can do there? We could do a fountain. Yeah, why not? There we go. Isn't that a nice little island where you can sit? Weeping Willow is an ass-tired tree, just like the silver birch. Weeping Willow is a really good tree, yes. Silver birch, also really good. I like the white poplar tree as well, mostly for decorative trees, not so much for forests. I mean, two absolutely iconic trees are, of course, the magnolia and the Voss's laburnum tree. Everyone uses that. Like, doing stuff like that is something everyone did as a kid. Did you just manage to place a willow tree on a half-land water tile? Yes, because that's possible in open. And what we can do here is a little mining area. With a little ice. Some trash. Some barrels. Some wood. A broken wheel. And some bushes. A tree? Yeah, why not? And look at that. You have a nice little mining area. Down in the swamp mines, yes. So special about that? Well, Max, this you cannot do in RST1 and maybe also not in RST2. So, yes, it is different. I'm assuming there's a dev only thing. Wait, this tree? No, that's not special. Wait, what? Are you saying you can't do that? I mean, if we're talking about these cars thing, that's definitely a dev only thing. What are you currently talking about? Because I'm confused. Placing filtering on half tile. Is that new? I thought you were always able to do that in open. Well, always, for a long time do that in open. Like, to me, that wasn't special, because I thought, well, that's just a thing you can do. Not with OG trees. Really? Hang on. Well, I'm running this for me, so I can't... I'll just open an old version that I have on my PC. But I can't open it from there because I'm running it. Let's just get... This is 0.4.13. Leafy Lake does have a tree here, which you can't place. Yeah, indeed, you can't do it. Huh. That's weird that I didn't know that. Anyway, this has now become quite a nice corner of the park, I must say. So we still need a fence here, though. Ta-da! Can I hire staff again? Yes. Oh, I missed name rather your choice. Whoopsie daisy. The junior coaster, I like that boulder. But there's no boulder there. I like that boulder. There is no boulder there, and that's actually a bit of a gap in the RCT scenery, because there's not really good stones. You got trees, you got flower beds, you got bushes, you got of course loads of different themed things, but there aren't just stones. What was I gonna do? Right, rehiring staff. 20 is probably a bit too many, but I'll keep them around for a bit to clean everything up. I do need to manage my money a bit. I can't just go wild. Okay, they don't seem to be doing much. 10 should work. Okay, did we have any vandalism? Nope, we did not. Despite there being a fair amount of pukies that I saw. How many times did you beat this scenario? Outside of speedrunning, I'm not sure I've ever beaten it. That's kind of why I'm playing it. Lately I've been just playing a lot of scenarios that I've never really played. More interesting question would be, how often have I beaten Forest Frontiers? Which, I mean, definitely 100. Wouldn't be surprised if it was like 400 or 500 times. Are most of your hours on custom scenarios or build your own type maps? I mean, most of my hours technically in this game are not spent properly playing it, but rather doing research or setting up scenes for videos or that kind of stuff. I mean, technically, probably most of the time is spent in Test Park, which is just a blank sandbox map that I made where I have everything available that I could need. And if I do miss something, I can easily add it, of course. If you're talking about my time actually properly playing, like I'm doing right now, then yeah, most of the times definitely official scenarios. But also some custom ones. It's funny, by the way, Valder, that you mentioned that with auto-placing, people have become too lazy for custom handyman zones. And while there's probably some truth to that, I never used to do custom handyman zones. So for me, that hasn't changed a thing. Right. Let's open up. Lovely, I think this slide looks quite nice, better than my typical water. Well, actually, it's not good enough. You know what's missing? Proper tunnels. Like, even in places where I don't need them to prevent crashes. Because all this stuff is perfectly fine. But tunnels are not primarily a tool to prevent crashes. They are actually just a fun addition to the ride, which I sometimes forget. People also do what they see their content creators doing, so the more people brought in by you, the larger the share of community that plays like you. That's very true, and I am aware of that. Which is why, you know, because at some point my content was very much just like optimize it, optimize that, optimize that. And that is why at some point I also started being a bit more like, optimizing is fun and I'll do it every now and then. But I also will just want to play normally. You know, not build 100 micro corkscrew coasters. I mean, that's partly because I know people are inspired by me, because they watch me. Also partly because I got tired of it myself. Because doing the same thing for years and years on end can become a bit tiring at some point. And I had just lost so much motivation from never actually playing this damn game. I was just optimize, 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 optimize. Never just played it. And that just completely killed all the enjoyment for me. That was back in 2020. Then I started live streaming, and I started enjoying the game again. Now, how did that happen, you think? There's a new Dirkling contest that's up your alley. It's build something in the Thunder Rock scenario. Deadline in about a month. Oh, I can live stream that. If it's interesting to live stream. If I need to get an idea for it. Rip. They be stuck. I think this happened because they must have caught up with the previous one, which was empty. Because the test one made it fine, made it through fine, so a fully loaded one should not crash. So we're gonna wait for full load. Do you have a car ride? If so, build a car ride with the door scenery. Do I have a car ride? I do. It also works for the ghost train, but I don't like the ghost train very much. Yesterday I built like 80 car rides. You know what? I should advertise. And we should charge more for this. And for this. How old is it? This year. That's not old at all. Route 1 till 80. No, probably like Google Coaster car ride 20 to 100. Because the Google Coaster is finished now. And I'm actually currently running a test, although that's only with one module. But we can see it here. And this test is running. And the first stall in the chain has sold 8,100 food items. The second one has only sold 44. The third one hasn't sold anything. Like nothing. That's how fast this chain grows. But yeah, this is only one module. This is just for purposes of making the video. The spark is running at what speed? Well, roughly 1,000. It runs faster when it's minimized, because then it doesn't have to draw anything. But yeah, I set times 128 speed, and I sped it up more with the little cheat engine. Yeah, we're on year 2600. And yeah, you know. You can see it in action here. It's quite a slow thing. Anyway, let's go back to this. What was I going to build again? Right, a car ride. You're building a custom build for this ride. Why use cheat engine? Just add faster options in the game code. Good point. Never thought of that. I don't think it matters, because the cheat engine isn't even fully running at this point. Running as fast as it could, because it can't. The game can't run infinitely fast. So I don't think it's going to be faster anyway. Also, I'm actually not running this in a custom build. This is running in just the latest development version. I put the guests all in place using a custom build. That's why they all have their color and such. But once they're all in place, I don't need it anymore. It works fine in the normal game. This would probably be the only possible use case for it, but it would be fun to build a headless build of RCT that runs at absolute maximum speed possible without caring about any graphics. Yes, it would be interesting. Although, if you're minimized, it doesn't draw any graphics anyway, so isn't that already pretty much that? Well, maybe not. Maybe some of the functions still run. I don't like this color. This is better. Probably still has code dealing with graphics stuff. Yeah, fair. The car ride has an incredibly low support limit, which was actually bothering me in the Google coaster. I had built a whole setup and then I found out that it didn't work because the car ride support limit is 7.5 meters. That's just 5 units. And I needed 6, so I had to redesign it. Which is such a stupid thing to run into. That's why the monster truck is so much superior. Yes, but the problem is that I needed a vehicle that can transport one guest at a time. And there are only 2 such vehicles in the game. One of them is the racing car from the car ride. The other one is the flying train from the mini suspended coaster. So I needed to use either of those. The pickup truck is 1. Pretty sure it's 2. Oh, it's 1. Monorail cycle. That one cannot synchronize. Okay, I do admit I forgot a few. The pickup truck I didn't forget. I genuinely thought it was 2. The monorail cycles I did forget, but that one can't synchronize. Well, it can, but that's an OpenRCT2 only thing. Also, it can't change height, which means it wouldn't work. The jet skis. Okay, yes, but that one doesn't even have a track. Dolphins too, then, because they're just reskinned jet skis. It's actually good that that you mentioned the pickup truck and the others, because I've already written in the script that there's only 2. And that's not true. So thank you for correcting me. Oh, we might as well use the pickup trucks here then. Dolphins are just reskinned jet skis. You can add that as a quote, Valder. Wait, what settings are we talking about? Oh, where in OpenRT2 do you see the message history? You click on the date. And there it is. Or you click on this thing at the very top right. But I never click on that. I always click on the date. I don't know what the default hotkey is. Let's see what mine is. It might be the default. I never use a hotkey for it. Is it message? I don't have a hotkey for it. Isn't M maybe a hotkey? Try M. I use my M for something different, but that's why I don't have it. But I have a feeling maybe M for messages. I would guess. I'm not sure. It's worth a try. M works. There we go. Either that's just because I thought messages that works, or I actually did remember it. The date also. I mean, yeah, I would be very surprised if that didn't work for you, because that's just how it works. I do not have the antenna button. Oh, that's probably an OpenRT2 thing then. You know, there are so many of those little things that people, including me, do not realize was actually added by Open. Okay, I don't want this to be pink. I want it to be yellow. Oh. Oh, these walls need to be higher. You know what, I'll put them in last. And we'll put some windows on it. So that people can peek inside and be creepy. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that, no, that's the wrong one. Put that, and the pointy roof. And then we'll build the foundation. You know what? These blocks work just as well. We got the Bad Foot Award. Cool. Nice icon as well. This is what I use my M key for, increasing and decreasing the scaling. Well, decreasing is N. It's very useful. We should probably add more foot stalls then. We do have two, but we have too big of a park to only have them in one location and have it be work. Very good English, Marcel, there. Hang on, we don't have any drink stalls. I didn't notice yet, but we don't have any drink stalls. That means that people will never need to pee, only poo. I mean, maybe once, because they might have drank before they came into the park. Drinks are useless. No, they're not. If people are thirsty, their happiness goes down. Now, you might not know that, because that has been bugged in OpenRCT 2 for about 11 years. Basically all its lifetime. Until it got fixed a month or two ago. And it used to not do that. I also didn't know that. I figured that out while working on the longest roller coaster. I'm a very thirsty fella. Well, that's probably just going to be one of the... 3,500? Since when do... Well, these are very thirsty. Since when do RCT1 parks start at such a high guest number? Usually they start at like 1 or maybe 5. Although this one does, of course, have pre-existing rides in it, so... Drink some more. Ah, alright. Why is this the exact same color as that ride? Oh, you know what? It fits the vibe. But I completely unintentionally made them both the exact same colorings. Yeah, why not Castle? Chris famously made a ton of RCT1 scenarios from the same starting maps. So it might be that he just spun it off, made a scenario, went back, kept doing something else, spun it off. Maybe. I do have a video in the planning called... I mean, in planning, it's on my ideas list, it's not actually in the planning. Called The Art of Reusing. Which is basically exactly that. And let's go into that a bit. Because, yes, Dynamite Dunes looks like this. Big fat hill, big smaller hill, and yeah, a few more hills. This hill, by the way, you see everywhere. This hill, you also see there. That's that hill. And you'll see it in more maps as well. And if you indeed go to Pacific Pyramids, it's the exact same map. You know, we orient it this way. It's the same map as Dynamite Dunes. The very scenario you're playing is just Evergreen Gardens. Is it? No, it's very different. Right? Hang on. No, you're right. Yes, the Evergreen Gardens entrance is here. And that mountain is the same. That mountain is the same. That hill is the same. We should redo this, by the way. You're absolutely right. Also, if you look at all the competition parks, apart from one, the Steel Corkscrew, I believe, is a unique one, but no, it doesn't look like it. One of these is unique. That one, Steel Twister Coaster. This is a completely unique park. But if you go to another one, this is Leafy Lake. Yeah, that is Leafy Lake. There's a bit of extra water there, but it's just Leafy Lake. Is Leafy Lake also Evergreen Gardens? No. It's not Evergreen Gardens. Taiwan Park is also Leafy Lake, I believe. It doesn't look like it, but I believe there were various signs that pointed to this just being a copy of Leafy Lake. With of course the landscape altered, but just taking Leafy Lake, altering the landscape, and doing it. I'm not sure exactly what arguments were made for that, but there were arguments made for that. I think Leafy Lake might also be Mega Park. Yes, it is. That is Leafy Lake, and of course it's altered a bit, but the base is the very same. That lake is the very same. Now, Forest Frontiers, of course, is quite unique. Maybe it's reused though at some point. Diamond Heights is also a park. It's definitely different from all the others, at least that we've seen so far. So is Bumble Beach. I mean, this is just mountain tool spam. The map was not particularly difficult to create here. Trinity Islands is of course unique as well. It's not that literally everything. Hey, here you see that one particular hill again. The one with the angle. And the same goes for here. There's another one of them. You see it a lot, that hill. And there's another one which is partially cut off. Katie's Dreamland. Is that a scenario we recognize? I mean, they all look very similar anyway, because they're all grassy. They all kind of use roughly the same kind of tree. So, even if they are all unique, they're bound to look similar. Because I'm like, this does look similar, but if you look closer, I don't recognize necessarily any of the previous scenarios we've looked at. Poke Park, is that a scenario we recognize? I don't recognize it, at least. I'm not sure if you guys do. No. Looks unique to me. Wide Water Park. Yeah, that looks unique to me as well. The trees are at least a bit different, but yeah, the terrain is incredibly similar. It's grassy hills with some water. That's just how it works. Millennium Mines. That looks different as well. Then again, actually spotting ones that are the same might be tricky because they all look so similar to begin with. Like this one. It's just some rolling hills with some trees and some water. What do you want? Mel's World. Looks different enough to me. Dirklink at some point made a document where he had a bunch of examples. Should ask him about that. How about Crumbly Woods? Yeah, the water is again different. So I don't think there's a remake either. It's not that literally every other scenario is a remake, but I mean, some are, of course. You got Thunder Rock, which looks like this. And then you got, I mean, this is not a secret, of course. You got literally called Thunder Rocks, which is exactly the same rock, but with another one in the back. And this is like the other ones are not supposed to be obvious. This one is obvious. This one is not trying to hide. Anyway, let's get back to Swamp Cove. Maybe we should research stalls. Just to get the drink stall. Pick a coaster type for me to build. Alrighty. Ooh, we have quite a few actually. We researched a bunch, I think. I actually forgot how many we started with. We can put them all on one line. Whee! Okay, that's the maximum size. Whee! Anyway. There's a corkscrew with 6 inversions. I can do that. Well, actually I need to make some money first. How about we open up this goddamn thing? And charge some more. How rich are the fellows here? That's 90, that's pretty good. That's probably gonna be the max. That's 80. 70. 80. 90. 80. Either a 60 or a 100 is gonna be a final one. Where is my 60 or 100? Oh, that's 100. So they have 70, 80, 90 or 100. That's very good. That's a lot. That means we can charge quite a bit as well. And they still won't get poor very quickly. Which is brilliant. Because as I said, we do need money to build like bigger rides and stuff. I have to say I'm quite fond of the corkscrew coaster. I'm not sure if I'm too fond. I don't dislike it, I just don't think I have any particular fondness for it. I mean, I do have fondness for the tiny design. That one. And that one, and that one. But not for the corkscrew in general. Can we borrow more money? No. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait a bit, so might as well do a little bit of scenic work while we wait. Oh, I guess that's half on land there. Oh no, that's just a coaster in the way. Stupid me. I was like, why can't I build my fountain there? Is there not water? No, there is. It's just a coaster in the way. No love for the mini-sus. Hey, I love a good mini-sus. I love it when I'm sussing all over the place. In my mini. Nothing gets me going harder than a good old mini-sus. Except an actually good coaster type. I was quite excited when the mini-sus was going to be prominently featured in the longest coaster, and then it didn't. I had to change to the car ride. We're nearing in on 10,000 euros in the bank. Which is good. There, just got a log flume. The next one we'll research will be a stall. And hopefully a foot stall. You might also just want to build some ride here. Currently this is very crowded with, well, crowded maybe a bit extreme, but there's plenty of rides. On the other side, there's nothing. No rides, no foot. Nothing. You know what's funny? I'm in a YouTubers Discord server, which is only like for partnered YouTubers, so not people who just have 3 subscribers and are uploading unedited Let's Plays. But there's one dude there who is 14 years old, is homeschooled and spends pretty much his entire waking life doing YouTube. He talks in those kind of YouTubey buzzwords, you know, just like Mr. Beast does, and thinks he knows it all, which he doesn't. He is literally like, yeah, we told him, hey, you know, this is good and all, and sure, you have the time when you're 14, make the most of it. But also, how about socializing? Maybe going to college once you're ready for that might be a good idea. Socializing is maybe a thing you might want to do. He's like, well, I can just learn socializing. I don't need to go to college. I can just learn it while also doing YouTube. It's the most corpo speak ever. And the dude is 14 and gets like 200 views a video. Which is... And he was like, you know, just do something every day and you'll improve. And while on the face of it is not bad advice, the way he said it and the context in which he said it was very much like he just repeated Mr. Beast. How is he partnered? I mean, you only need 1,000 subscribers to be partnered, which is not that much. And I will not show you who it is, of course, that's a bit rude. But there was a discussion yesterday. Let me see if I can look up some of the things he said. Oh yeah, YouTube is literally human psychology and engineering attention. That was one of the things he said. You can just make videos, find other YouTubers, continue to get feedback. All information is out there, you just need to work. My point is that college is only worth it if it brings you closer to your goals compared to alternatives. And I'm like, he's 14. He'll be fine probably, but the way he's talking about it while also trying to do YouTube. And like the sentences he said are not necessarily false. But the way he uses it is clear that he's just parroting what Mr. Beast and other people like Mr. Beast are saying. You know, when I was 14 I played a lot of video games, so wasn't doing anything particularly useful in my life either, apart from having fun, I guess. So, it's not like he's in trouble or anything, he'll be fine probably, but it's so cringe. Weren't you building a 6-inch version corkscrew? No, because I'm waiting until I have a bit of a bigger budget. But it's funny, because there are a load of full-time YouTubers in that chat, and you can distinguish them by their green name, which I'm one of course. And none of them have ever used as many YouTube buzzwords as that guy. Hang on, let me see if I can find a few more. Because it was quite interesting. Oh yeah, so what you're saying is college is the only way to get social interaction. You can't just build skill and socialize on your own. I mean, to be fair, he's American, so college is very expensive. Another thing. That's why I chose YouTube. I get a very good understanding of human psychology that applies to most things. It's hilarious. Especially in the partner Discord, where you would not need to use buzzwords to get subs. I mean, he's not trying to get subs when he's talking to us, of course. That's not the reason he's using those. He just thinks that YouTube works that way. While most of the people I see there are just like focus on making good videos. You know, YouTube is not the algorithm. It's not that the algorithm decided to screw you over and not promote your video. No, it's the audience that decided to not watch your video. If a video did bad. We do not allow everyone in the partner Discord. I mean, I say we, I'm not a moderator there, but the moderators there do not allow everyone in. Recently, there was a guy in there who was let in by mistake, presumably, because he was promptly banned, who had uploaded videos on how to use AI to undress photos of people. Which, if it's not illegal, it should be. It's highly unethical anyway. So I called him out on it. Because, you know, we were talking, and as we sometimes do when we're talking with people there about YouTube, I sometimes click on their profile, go to their YouTube channel to see what they're doing. Which is often interesting. And sometimes you see this. And a few other people dogpiled him in as well. And then one of the mods came in and was like, "Why are you here, ban?" Isn't it both? I think you're talking about the audience versus algorithm thing. I mean, there's obviously an algorithm thing going on, Max, with YouTube. But it's not healthy or useful, really, most of the time to think in the algorithm. You know, how can I make my video to please the algorithm? It's more useful to try to please your audience. If only because that is probably less likely to burn you out. Okay, we got 2 inversions so far. Is it possible to penetrate the loop with a corkscrew? Yes, and actually, I'm gonna need some more space for this. Okay, does it make this? That's the first question. I also asked the same mod earlier, how many people they reject. And they reject so many people who make just videos about disgusting things, like anti-gay videos or anti-woman videos or whatever. It's completely ridiculous. Luckily, I don't have to see that. Because I don't work there, I'm just a YouTuber. Well, work, moderating, but I'm just a YouTuber who's in there and sometimes chats a bit. And I've learned a few things there, and it's useful. Alright. Now, I haven't done this in years, so... Okay, that was surprisingly easy. But I'm not done yet. Actually... Hang on. Let's just color the tile I need to start on. Can I start on that one? Oops, this needs to go up. Okay, that doesn't work. I was trying to do like 2 corkscrews side by side. Make it 2 opposite corkscrews would be fitting the same loop. That was my first idea, 2 cutbacks. But then I was like, can I do 2 side by side? Would that be possible? But I think that's asking a bit much. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be, because the loop only has 2 tiles of space, like a cork only has 2 tiles of space within it, which you need to clear the loop, so you can't do 2 side by side. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I like the other side better, people uploading college lectures to Pornhub. I mean, that's the best way to learn. You know, you take a little break and you immediately have something fun to do. Ta-da! 2 cutbacks through the same loop. I smell over 10 intensity. We'll see. We're only on 5 inversions. We need another one. How about a big... That looks so massive. It's not gonna make that big corkscrew. They don't have enough speed for that. Hat stall. Do we ever get a bloody drink stall? Are people just supposed to drink their own urine? Or drink out of the bloody swamp? Oh god, I still need to make it back. Okay. Brakes. That's bent. That's fine. Oh, hang on. Can I just like finish this with a sidewinder? Or dive loop or whatever it's called. Yes. Okay, and then we'll do a photo section. Toddly-da, toddly-toddly-da. Fast forwarding the chain lift is also such a useful feature. I mean, it's not specifically fast forwarding chain lift, of course, I'm just speeding up the game, but useful. And there we go. That's the corkscrew coaster. Let's see what kind of stats we get. Hey, only 7.1 intensity. Damn. I guess I did kind of... I mean, we do have 10 drops, which is not insubstantial either. I'm honestly surprised by how low the intensity rating is. Positively surprised, of course. What do you want to name it, Mr. Federals? Name it Booty. My booty. Alright. I mean, it's not surprising that this is possible, considering it's also possible to do 6 inversions on the stand-up without getting 10 intensity. And the stand-up is a whole different beast in terms of stats. I dare say it helps if you're not taking the turns or inversions too fast. Well, yeah, it lowers the G-forces, which does help. Surprisingly. Making the coaster less intense makes it less intense. Who knew? I'm completely flabbergasted by that factoid. Is this far away from far, far away, since it's Shrek's Swamp theme park? Yes. Far, far away is a scenario in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so that is far away. You know what, I shouldn't say things like that with such an authoritative voice, because people might actually believe it. Can't be Shrek Swamp. Where's the All-Star toilet? What do you mean? It's right there. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. Oh, we nearly have 1,600 guests, which is what we need. Although we have 3 years for it, we did it in less than half. Well, less than half, we're not there yet. I could be streaming from the toilet, I could currently be taking a dump, who says I'm not? That's very true, I could still be doing that. I may never have left the toilet. I could also, you know, you don't know what I was wearing while I was recording certain videos. Although, usually I don't really wear crazy clothes during my video. There was one video I recorded while shirtless because it was way too goddamn hot. We can still name the toilet All-Star though, Mary, don't worry. There we go. Ooh, we are getting close to making 10k a month in ride ticket profit, although people are also leaving the park because them be poor. Well, not this month though, because rain. It's raining on my parade. The Black Parade. Oh, we should charge more for this. No cheating the cash machine in this time. No. Because last time, I on purpose just wanted to make a lot of money. This time I'm just playing the scenario. It's funny that toffee apple stalls are available, because that's also my food stall of choice for the longest coaster. It contains 100 of them. Would you rather poop a 30 centimeter log twice a day for 10 minutes or poop a 60 centimeter log a day but continuously? Super slowly, 0.4 millimeters per second. I mean, the answer is obvious. Either you're on the toilet for 20 minutes, or you're constantly dealing with shit coming out of your ass. Like, who would ever choose the first one? How about we do a nice car ride through here? Ah, the glitching is back. Yeah, past has the word ass in it. That's very true. I wanted nothing. So it's glitchy again. I am always glitchy. God, these new go-kart pieces are so amazing. Duckify the park. Oh yes, we like ducks. And half the jungle scenery I built there was for nothing because I have just destroyed it with the car go-karts. Okay, you know what we're doing? Enable all durable track pieces. Yeah, sloped turns, baby. Yeah, screw it, disable support limits. Ducks are friends, not food. Oh no, ducks are definitely food. But friends can be food. I don't need those cheats anymore. Friends can also be foot. Oh, I love the merry-go-round songs. And there the ducks go again. Well, no, they're coming still, sorry. They're going in a few months. And we have reached the goal in indeed less than half the time. See if I can time this well. Three, two, one, finish. I think I did that pretty well. Ad campaigns just suck the fun out of any scenario. No, they add fun. I mean, I know what you mean, but the thing is, if I didn't advertise, we would be making so much less money, and I wouldn't be able to build this fun roller coaster. You know, it's different if you're playing on your own, because you can take it more slowly, but I want to build fun, bigger rides, and that's also kind of what I'm good at. I'm not so good at taking it very slowly and decorating meticulously. I mean, I sometimes do that, but in general, not my thing. Haha, Mrs. Bones. Hospital graveyard, because why not? Geography trivia. How are you gonna quiz me now? Top 3 countries with the most actively spoken languages. Bolivia, Papua New Guinea. Oh. America, because it's big and known as a melting pot. Papua is right. Bolivia is maybe the country with the most official languages then? There was something with many languages in Bolivia. Indonesia. I mean, yeah, if we're going Papua and New Guinea, we might as well go like Indonesia, Philippines. I mean, probably not Australia. Well, Malaysia then. You know, it's another country in that kind of rainforesty area. Well, Malaysia is not that big. Google says number 3 is Nigeria. Hang on. Please tell me you're not taking this from the AI overview, but from some website. Wikipedia, okay, that's trustworthy. Not 100% of course, but more trustworthy than the bloody AI overview. Switzerland. Switzerland only, I believe, really has, 4 major languages, which are French, Italian, German and Romansh. So we're not talking about the official languages, which Switzerland has 4 of. South Africa, I believe, 11. Bolivia, something like 39 or something. I believe. But we're talking about actively spoken languages. For example, Turkish is, you know, quite commonly spoken in the Netherlands. I mean, quite commonly, not that many, but, you know, it is still a significant amount of people. But it's not an official language. America, well, USA, doesn't even have an official language. At least that's a fact that I've seen. I'm assuming it's true. On my teachers in 2002, Wikipedia isn't trustworthy. Teachers in 2006, AI isn't trustworthy. Teachers in 2048, the omnipresent flow or floating above your left earlobe whispering dark secrets into the inner machinations of the world is not trustworthy. But the thing about Wikipedia, right, is that first it lists its sources, so you can go to all the sources, but that's, if you want to quickly look something up, it's a bit much effort. More effort than you can expect someone to put into quickly looking something up. But if it's facts, like geography facts and all that kind of stuff, facts that are quite unchanging, then they're often likely to be right. Or facts that a lot of people will update, like the highest temperature in every country. If there's an update on that, then there's a lot of people that will want to try to update that. It's not always right, of course. But there's no reason to think it's often wrong. AI can also give sources. They don't always agree with what the AI is saying, but it is giving them. Yes, but whoever clicks through to the sources when they ask ChatGPT how many apples could fit in a swimming pool. Guests are 30 and can't find anywhere to buy drinks. Well, yeah, I don't have a bloody drink stall. It's not my fault. I've been researching stalls for a while now and I still don't have a drink stall. They could try to drink hot dogs, but it usually doesn't end very well. They could wait until their ice cream is melted, that's drink. It's more of a milkshake. Drown a guest that doesn't love ducks. Oh, that's all of them. These fellas hate ducks. So they all deserve to die. Serve them hot dog water. Now, that's what we feed to the ducks. The sprites on the go-kart slab look ridiculous. Well, on the steep slope they don't even have proper sprites. Yeah, neither they don't either there. Yeah, that doesn't really work properly. That's why they're only available behind the cheat, because there are no sprites for it. Pizza sauce is reserved for the staff. Hey, I don't treat my staff that well. Please don't accuse me of being a good leader. Last week or so, I can't remember my question, but I had a question about a RAM that I googled. Google AI sourced a video made by some scammer, which was just a video showing how to download more RAM. Yeah, no, that doesn't work like that. I mean, I have a very direct experience with this, because someone, when I made my my video about guests are always nauseous, someone asked whether entertainers have an effect on guests that are in first aid rooms, which was related to the video. Someone said, yes they do. But no they don't. And they used the bloody Google AI feature. They asked Google. The Google AI said yes, entertainers have an effect on guests in first aid stalls, but they don't. Like, I didn't know that. I had to test it. Someone else actually did it before I did, and they already proved them wrong, but they do not. It's just that people don't know how unreliable it is. What I am quite happy with is my mom. You know, my mom's not very good with technology. She's, I mean, better than the stereotype elder. She's 61. She's not that old, but you know, she's better than the stereotype parent who can't do technology. It's not that bad, but she's not very good with it. But she knows that she's not very good with it. So, if there's a problem, she won't try to force through it or give up. She'll just ask me, which is fine. And I know her level of knowledge, and we can work it out. And sometimes I don't know the answer right, and I'll tell her to find someone else who might know the answer. And the same kind of goes for AI. She recently said, and the fact that she's aware of this is good, is that she hates the fact that we can't be sure that something's real anymore because of AI. Which, first off, is just true. That's very annoying. But secondly, I'm very happy to hear that she says that, because it means that she is very aware of it. And that means that we have less problem with her, like, believing AI bullshit. Which, you know, older people are known to be more likely to believe in. I don't know if that's actually true. But, I mean, it's a fact repeated. I don't know if that fact is true. Just let's just say it's a stereotype. One of our clients at work managed to cause a major server outage because they asked the AI how to restart a router and it told them to factory reset it. Ah, idiot. Won't you get a penalty without an underground section? That does not exist. There are rights that get penalties if you have too much underground, but penalties for lacking an underground section does not exist. The rights that get penalized for too much underground are some transport rights and the go-karts. I like those big sweeping 360-degree turns. Like this one as well. And it's technically 450 degrees. And then we got another one here. They're very nice. Recently I've started to more often use different colors per train. It's a nice way to bring some extra variety to your ride. Okay, what are the stats of this thing? Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to say about this really. It's all just, yeah, it's mine train coaster stats. 6.5 excitement, 7.6 intensity, 4.7 nausea. That's just typical mine train coaster stuff. I like to use different colors per car, even if it does mean I just make them all rainbow. I mean, rainbows are the best bows in the world. Do we have a drink stall now? We still don't have a goddamn drink stall. What's the last one we got? Is that the cotton candy one? Yes. To be honest, the candy floss is a favorite of mine. I used a lot during speedrunning. It's useful because it's often available and it doesn't produce trash. I mean, it's not the only one that doesn't produce trash, like the hot dog stall and the toffee apple stall don't either. But the candy floss stall is very often available. I remember that's the gimmick of this scenario, no drink stall for a year. Then it shouldn't be too far away. I mean, we did not start researching stalls at the very start, but maybe a month or two away then? I'm now paying back the loan to avoid paying $24.80 in interest a month. Yes, yes, guests are thirsty. Calm down, stupid guests. Just be like Bear Grylls and drink your own piss. You'll be fine. And if you're not, please leave so that you don't die in my theme park. That way I'm not liable. Guys are 30, send them feed pics. I don't think my feed pics would be very sought after. Although maybe they would be. There are some weirdos on the internet. Should I try? Just make an OnlyFans where I sell feet pics. Just see if anyone signs up. The internet was a mistake. I mean, people did a lot of deplorable, perverted stuff before the internet existed. So I don't think you can blame this one on the internet. Wouldn't it be interesting if they had a beer stand and would make guests happy, but at the cost of slowly making the guests nauseous? That would be interesting, yes. Also giving them, I mean, I was going to say giving them a higher chance to puke, but that's literally being nauseous, so yes, you already did that. If we're at that, we can also add a ride that's just like a brothel. If we're on the 18 plus version anyway. I wonder, would there be any theme parks in real life that have a brothel on site? If so, I found my next holidaying spot. Maybe in Nevada. I mean, Las Vegas has everything. Naming your brothel your mom should count as that requirement. Absolutely. A brothel ride, is that a gentle or a thrill ride? Well, sometimes it's a true roller coaster. Or if you do it right, it can be a food stall. That's not enough boats. Oh, I can't get more. I assumed I would get more. I do not. I think the Thrill Rush version is called a dungeon. Yes. And a toilet deep brothel. Sure. Yeah, I think kind of neat stalls here anyway. The brothel. Heading to the brothel. hats. We still don't have a drink stall, we just unlocked a hat stall. Which is not Harry Potter, but apparently it is. Let's sell blue hats. You got a grey hat. You got to die. Goodbye. Ooh, there's a lot of beauties there. Let's hire 10 more handymen. Because I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Yeah, it's already been cleaned up. The handymen are doing well. Call the fashion police. Yeah, no, grey hats are not allowed, only blue hats. We are blue hatters in this country. Okay, in a few days we'll know whether this one is going to be a drink stall. Is it going to be the 3rd of October and roughly 10 days beforehand if you're doing full research? It'll show which are it's just divided into thirds. The third it just says kind of just type unknown and says type whatever the right type it is, and then it'll say which right exactly it's going to be in the last third, in the 3rd trimester. And then of course after however many days you get with your research, you give birth. From this angle, it kind of looks like they're slipping through this turn. They're just extremely skilled and are slipping through it, drifting. Maybe they jump and get a little boost from drifting. Drink stall! Yay! We got the happy Marcel now. Hey, we also reached 2,000 guests, which is pretty neat. Twist 1 has broken down. How dare you? Okay, I'm gonna place one drink stall. Let's see how popular it gets. It's not like drinks will fix your park. Park rating is 999. Yeah, because, well, this bastard's unhappy. But, you know, being thirsty will lower your happiness. Not for this guy, because he's not thirsty. This guy's also not thirsty enough, because they're new guests. This one is. It will lower your happiness a bit, but they'll also, of course, gain happiness from like riding rides and whatever, so... It makes it a bit more difficult to retain the happiness, but not impossible. Drink some water, alright. Park rating is mostly based on guest happiness. Well, a bunch of other things too, but a lot of guest happiness. Also profit, yes. We're doing quite good in the profit department. 11,000 a month, 12,000 in September. Alright, that's good. I like that. And give it a follow, Joel, VG and Beanie. That follow reminded me, completely forgot. Completely forgot what? Well, the follow reminded you of what? Ah, we got a lot of messages on October 1st. Oh, we got the drink stall now. Yay! Okay, we're gonna place one of them. Right there. 2, 3... Okay, how many people are going to head towards it? Actions. Heading for drink stall 1. 95. 120. 158, 169, nice. 100, 200, 240, 260, 270. Will we get to 300? Seems to be stabilizing now. Because of course there are a lot of guests that are reaching it and no longer heading for it. And not everyone is close enough that they can actually head for it. $1,100 an hour, that will still increase. Why do guests absolutely refuse to pay 10 cents more for a ride they deem not worth, but are willing to pay for a stall? That's more than it's worth. Because that's how Chrysalia decided to implement it. There is no other explanation. It's just that, yeah, guests, their willingness to pay for stalls is basically, they're still the same kind of maximum price. But if it's above that, then depending on happiness, they have a certain chance to still want to buy it. And there's still a hard cap on that where they will never ever buy it. Which also depends on their happiness. But yeah, for rides, happiness does not impact willingness to pay. And there's also no chance element or anything. That's just how it was implemented. Or an ad campaign for the drink stall. That's not how it works. If you do vouchers for free drinks, then guests will spawn with a voucher for free drinks, but not behave any differently. They will just, whenever they buy a drink, use it. Not the first time, of course. After that, the voucher is gone. Listen, already made itself back with 360 profit. 4,000 an hour. Funny thing is, I must have done similar things to did when I was a kid, like make one stall incredibly popular, yet I don't remember ever noticing that these customers and hour numbers could get very high on stalls. Whether guests buy food and drinks at certain prices also depends on temperature. Yes, the base maximum price before you get the extra happiness thing can depend on the happiness. On the temperature. Like ice cream is worth a lot more when it's cold. We've got 5,800, that's a very high number. Yeah, they're not buying candy floss or ice cream or balloons in the rain. No, balloons are, never mind. They're not buying candy floss or ice cream in the rain, and they're not buying sunglasses or ice cream or maybe something else when it's too cold. There's a few of those exceptions and I don't know all of them by heart, unfortunately. I used to think ads for food and drinks and rides only increase popularity, never realized it attracts guests. That's actually the main thing they do. If you advertise a ride, like I'm doing here for, let's see, we've got free entry, free rides on Crooked House 1. Let's see, can you find her? I guess that's... I need to... Oh, that's a free voucher for the voucher for Toffee Apple. We need a voucher for Crooked House 1. Ah, there we go. Voucher for a free ride on Crooked Heist 1. He will immediately, as you can see, head for Crooked Heist 1. Guests that are spawned from an ad campaign that advertises for a ride, could be either general ad or free ride ad, both work. They will, upon entering the park, immediately head for the ride. Dumb question, do the guest energy, hunger, happiness, etc. change while they're in a queue? Yes. The TVs, I mean TVs regulate their happiness. But they have a happiness decrease, which is perfect if they're all hungry and thirsty and such, which is perfectly cancelled out by TVs. But TVs refuse to let it go below 90 anyway. That's a hard limit. But yeah, all the kind of happiness increases from like being too or decreases from being too hungry and thirsty, they all continue to function. Energy actually increases when they're in a queue line. Surprisingly enough. Although, not really for this fella, because he's also very hungry, which decreases it again, which cancels out. But yeah, energy, if they're not hungry, increases in queue lines. Which is interesting. We're the safest park in the country, baby. Totally. You know it. Oh, that guy's unhappy. What made him unhappy? Well, he's now dead, so there's no finding out anymore. But yeah, we are the safest park. Well, they're right, even if it doesn't fall within their intensity preference. If it's advertised, yes. There is still the check for 10 intensity once they get to joining the queue. But outside of that, yes, they will always head for it. Have you found how the game calculates ride length and time yet? No, because I have not bothered to look into it. All those guests jumped into the swamp of their own accord. Yes, I have nothing to do with that. I am innocent. I am a victim here. Because those guests died on my property, ruining my reputation. It's not my fault that guests cannot swim. It's just... They should take better care of themselves when they're pushed into a deadly lake. It's not my fault. I'm innocent. I am innocent. It's not my fault. I'm innocent, please. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm a victim. Anyway. What are we researching next? Oh, we got a pirate ship. Nice. I like a good old pirate ship. We need a big woody made from wood. I don't think we have to... Do we have the woody available? Yes, we do actually. 2 versions even. We could do that. I love how the guest suddenly entered the happiest state before he drowned. That was pure bliss. Okay, there we go. That should be a long enough queue line. Is it? Probably. The most boring pirate ship in the world. Isn't that queue a bit excessive? You know, I like to think that we run a pretty inclusive live stream over here. We don't judge. And I'm not amused by the fact that you are judging this queue line for how big it is. It's not its fault that it's so big. Stop bullying it. Just the way it is. Accept it, please. My mistake. It's alright. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. But yes, this queue line is a long fuck. It's ridiculously long, it's ugly, it should not exist. But I may say that. Because I am its mother. Damn, this ride is popular. Now ready for your choice. And what's it gonna be? Call the pirate ship John Major. If you know, you know. Well, I do not know. When he was a kid, was he called John Minor? Giraffe! I like a good old giraffe. But what is John Major from? Because I don't know, and I would quite like to know. Former UK Prime Minister had a reputation for being a bit dull. The satirical show Spitting Image depicted him as old grey. When he was young, he ran away from the circus to become an accountant. Was he 50 Shades of Grey? That does sound like the most interesting man in the world. But sorry, but the guy who ran away from the circus to become an accountant sounds like a Monty Python sketch. People are queuing nicely. Let's increase the number of swings so that they're queuing even betterly. During his tenure, he was having it off with one of his fellow MPs. Is it possible to beat scenarios by only charging for food and drinks? Yeah, probably. Just trap all the guests in a queue trap. I think I think you could probably beat all scenarios without making any money. If you do it right, you don't need an expensive setup. Well, for some rides you do, like the build this many coaster rides, but then you can just build a very small setup that makes a little bit of money, let it run for 1 billion years, and you'll have enough money to build all your big fancy coasters that you need, like Octagon Park or whatever, Ghost Town. In fact, that is literally how I beat Ghost Town without guests ever going on rides. I just built an info kiosk, let it run for 1 million years, well, like 200 years, 1,000 years, whatever. Then I had plenty of cash to build my rides. So that is in those scenarios not theoretical. It's actually been done by me. New stream idea. Beat Octagon Park but make every coaster have over 10 intensity. Oh, that's just a matter of choosing the correct trains. Because if you go over 10 intensity due to a train bonus, your excitement will not be penalized because the bonuses are applied in the wrong order. You first get the excitement penalizing bonus, and then you get these applied. So it checks, hey, is your intensity over 10? No? Okay, we're good. And then it's gonna increase it due to this plus 16% intensity. I used the Benchwarm plugin. Is there a way to quickly remove benches and pins? Could try the scenery manager. Although sometimes I've had it also remove the path, so I'm not exactly... You know, let's just give it a shot. If we go to this, we go footpath. Surface object, yeah, it'll, you can, like this will remove any footpath. Can we just do addition here? No. I don't think this works for just, like if we select the lamp, it will remove any footpath with that lamp, not just the lamp. So yeah. I don't use bench warmer anymore, I prefer placing them myself. Also, I think having a bench and bin on literally every tile is ugly. It's just too mucho. Know what I mean? Ah, a good old Luxembourgish flag where someone made the blue a bit too dark. As someone who likes to use lamps, I like to arrange them lamp bin, lamp bench, lamp runs rather there. English. Lamp bin, lamp bench, lamp rinse, lather repeat. What? I mean lathering the soap in your hair, I guess that's what it is. I'm confuzzled. We've got our cute little jungle corner here, some flesh-eating plants. Don't go in them, you'll die. Or do go in them if you have a death wish, I guess. Bench. It's unfortunate that lamps are so useless. Why is it unfortunate though? Scenery is also useless. Okay, not literally, because it can make guests think there's nice scenery and that'll increase their happiness a bit, but like scenery is not very useful either. You don't need good looking scenery to get that thought. You can just spam a bunch of cheap bushes. Yet people still build a lot with scenery. So why is it a problem that lamps don't do anything? You can still use them for decorative purposes. And yeah, they're nice. Clock. Did you know, and some of you will be because you've watched my video on it or even said it before. Did you know that these clocks actually tell the time? That is it just moved. That is the small hand pointing to the hour 9. That is the minute hand pointing to the minute 9, because it's 9:09 currently. And if we fast forward it a bit, you can see it move. Oh, no. Doesn't work like that, you idiot. It moves in real time. Doesn't move faster if you fast forward the game. That was stupid. Any time now it'll move. It'll go to the next minute. Come on. There we go. Marcel's clock. God, that video's... That video only has 48,000 views. That's very little. I actually did a long recording on this that I sped up in editing, which of course does work. Let's see, is that here? Yes. This was just me doing a very long recording and speeding it up in editing, where you can see the clock actually move. Which is very cool. So I love the fact that it actually just takes the time of your computer and is working as a replay. Only 148,000, no, 48,000 that video. 148,000 would be pretty good. But 48,000 views for a 4-year-old video is not good at all. I'm used to bigger numbers. I think we're no longer at... God damn! 15,000 in March and April. We be riching. You don't need a cash machine to be rich if the guests themselves are rich. They spawn with 70 to 100 euros here, which is a lot. Damn, we doing well. Lol, look at them going slowly up that hill. That big fat hill. Okay, we have plenty of cash now for a nice woody. I want it there because that's gonna be Uggo. I actually do want my chain lift in a bit less Uggo place. What plugins do you use? So currently I have installed consistent guest stats, which is useful when you're doing like setups and guests should not get unhappy and the like. Or you want guests to always be thirsty, buy lots of drinks or whatever setup experiment. Destroy path furniture, which I don't need, but that same plugin also gives explode guests, which is useful. You know, not only is explode guests funny, you know, guests are literally exploding. But it's also useful if I have a park that's quite overcrowded and I want there to just be less guests in a shot or a video. I can just use it to thin out the crowd evenly, which is nice. There's edit ride vehicles, which, well, you can edit a lot of things, which is sometimes useful for me. I can make that the bobsleigh train. Well, the first car anyway. Pickup trucks. There is Inspect Park Rating, which is the best plugin in the world, where you can see how exactly your park rating is built up. And it'll show you where you lose park rating, where you gain park rating, what the max is you can gain from everything. It's particularly useful. This is mostly incredibly useful when explaining how park rating works in videos. Because I can actually show you how it works in real time, instead of just pulling some numbers out of my ass and need to calculate it myself in the video. I can just use this and it's fantastic. Thank you, bossy. Price manager, which is useful, it automatically sets the maximum prices. It's not on right now, but you can use it. Right ticket price calculator, which is a thing I made. I don't use it very often, but it's occasionally useful for videos. And you can pick a ride and it'll show you automatically, depending on the age, what the maximum the maximum prices that you can charge, and highlight the one that is currently active, depending on, of course, how old it is. And you can also, you know, manually input ride stats, where you can, like, what if it had 700 nausea? Then you will be able to charge a lot more. Does this handle negative numbers? No. If one of these is highlighted, it means it's incorrect. It gives an error. But, you know, it's... Oh yeah, then it overflows. You know, you charge to the park entrance, they'll be divided by 4. And, you know, do you have or not multiple of them in the park? It's quite useful. I hate that the ride ticket price is based on months, but the ride age is only ever displayed in years. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. It does display it in months here, which is nice. Scenery manager, which I showcased earlier, it's useful. For example, if you want to, I used it today actually to delete all certain scenery items in the park. That's what I use it for, but you can also like copy entire bits. At some point I built a massive duck temple and I wanted it to be higher. So I just copied it, saved it as a template, deleted it, loaded the template and built it but higher. That's the thing you can do with the scenery manager. You can, you know, search and replace, you can do lots of things that I don't know. Because I don't use it very often. It's mostly useful when you build like scenic parks and whatever. Soft gas cap calculator shows you how high the soft gas cap is. It's on 1200. Split vision, that's for a certain park. That only works in one park. Like a Pokemon park someone built. God damn it. Okay, this all counts as one drop. And it's a very big drop. Because we come from 46 meters. That's an ugly woody, I love it. There's a reason I built it on the side of the park. Those negative geese. Nah, geese can shut up. They need to be negative all the time, the geese can just shut their bloody mouth. Do guests explode while drowning? I don't know. It's a bit difficult to find out because knowing when a guest is going to explode is tricky. Although we can just drown a billion guests. We'll discover that in a minute. You would hate Canada, permanent geese invasion. Well, it's fine if the geese are not negative. I don't mind positive geese. Lateral geese, those are fun. (123k an hour top speed). That's a fast Woody. Whoa, that changes the entire vibe of the park. That's not a bad color. I must say I quite enjoy that. Yeah, the water splash is not available on this tight ride. I know, because I tried last live stream. They are made of gold. Do you know why it was so expensive? Because it's made of gold, and I don't skimp on gold. The Woody is quite a nice addition actually, when you don't make it bloody white. What are its stats? Oh, quite intense. Not over 10, but quite intense. With 9.68. And drop height of 55 meters, top speed of 123. That's very fast for a wooden coaster. This queue is completely full. And it's 50-minute wait, which in real time means about like 23 minutes. Because this is incredibly wrong. I never expected to make this much money in a scenario without atoms. But we're doing well. Little circus. Oh, we got a lot of new thrill rides. Cool. We'll put you in Berserk mode. This is so cute that this is not a queue line, but a cute line. This little tunnel. I much prefer the RST1 calculating of your park value. It was more straightforward. Basically, the cost of your ride equals the park value. I don't think it worked like that. I think it happened to be roughly that, but I don't think the cost of your ride was taken into account at all. I think it was pretty similar to RST2, except with just lower numbers, like some divisor somewhere. Like dividing it by 8 or whatever. I mean, it doesn't scale perfectly, but something like that. It was easier to see when you cross the scenario. I guess, but I don't think it has anything to do with actually being how much money a ride costs. It's of course easy to test. Just build a few cheap rides, see how much you get. Like cheap intense rides and stuff. And we have nearly beaten it. Wait. I think I actually forgot to build more drink stalls. I think we only have one drink stall. Oh, I sold 1900 drinks. What I have noticed is that RST1 scenarios where the park value goal can be multiplied by 10 in open RST2. Yes, because if we didn't do that, it would be stupidly easy. Like you would have Diamond Heights beaten from the very start. And there we have beaten it. But before we go, we should test one thing. We should test whether drowning guests can explode. So. We're going to trap a load of guests on Leafy Lake. $9,000 of them apparently, and one. Then we're gonna so make a load of guests explode. And if you do this, they'll explode anywhere within now in the next 12.8 seconds. So after we've done that, we're just gonna make them drown. No, they do not explode when drowning. Because if we now make them stop drowning. Oh, too late, that doesn't work. Well, they're dead. Well, that was there's a graph for the guests in park. Anyway. Oh, I hadn't saved after beating it. We've beaten it again. Hang on. We've beaten it again. I am so good at this game. I've beaten this scenario 3 times in like 2 minutes. Woo! I'm good. Speedrun, baby. 420k park rating, hell yeah. Weed, 420, yeah. Blaze it, yeah. Snoop Dogg. Right. Let's actually end the stream and find someone to raid. Instead of making silly jokes about weed. Wait, why does Twitch have stories? So I'm looking through on the left where I can see people that I follow who are playing and such. Why is there on the top it says for you, open stories? So this is what I get when I open Twitch. So first off, on my homepage there is a woman with a lot of cleavage. Because of course there is. I don't know who she is. I never watch on the homepage. I rarely watch Twitch anyway. I don't know what she's chatting about. I don't care. But yeah, here it says open stories. I didn't know those existed. Like, why is this what I get? There's some woman shaking her boobs for the camera. I don't care about her. Twitch is something that I put on the side and don't pay that much attention to anyway. What's her name so I can avoid her? It's literally on the screen. It's Bastila. So yes, if you want to see her tease her tits, you can go watch her, but we are not going to watch her. In fact, I'm just gonna raise J-Dubs because I like him.
Not broken.
Oh, shut up. He's playing Deus Ex Part 10. Whatever that is. So, I'll send you all to J-Dubs. And I'll see you all next time on the Day of the Sun. Have a fun raid. A good, a bye, a sleep, a tight.